Okay, let's dive into this. Because right now, you're probably making more money than you ever have in your entire life. But here's the crazy part, you might actually be closer to going broke than you realize. It's a massive paradox, right? Research shows your 40s and 50s are your absolute peak earning years. You're crushing it at work. But at the exact same time, because life comes at you fast, these decades carry the absolute greatest financial risks. Today, we're breaking down the top 5 things people get totally wrong about managing their finances in midlife, and exactly how you can dodge these traps to secure your future.
So it's a question that literally keeps millions of us awake at night, isn't it? You look at your paycheck, it's way higher than it was back in your 20s, but your bank account? It feels like a leaky bucket. Why are these peak earning years secretly a financial minefield for so many adults? Well, the reality is your expenses are scaling right alongside your income. Sometimes they're actually outpacing it. Between sneaky lifestyle inflation, bodies that suddenly need a bit more maintenance, kids with adult-sized appetites, and retirement creeping up on the horizon, your financial margin for error is razor thin.
To really grasp how serious this is, let's look at some baseline stats from financial experts. They say that by your 40s, you should ideally have 2 to 3 times your annual income saved up. And in your 50s, that target jumps to 4 to 5 times your income. But the sobering reality? Nearly 30% of Gen Xers, people right in their 40s and early 50s, have zero saved for retirement. Nothing. Literally, a third of Americans are heading into the second half of life with an empty nest egg. Now, if you're behind, take a deep breath, do not panic. We're going to fix it. Let's look at the specific mistakes keeping you from hitting those targets.
That brings us to mistake number 5, the sandwich squeeze, balancing kids, aging parents, and your own spending ruts.
Now, what's really interesting about this is how sneaky the problem is. Dr. Elizabeth Dunn, a chief scientist in the space, points out a silent killer of our budgets. By our 40s, we've fallen into what she calls spending ruts, continuing to buy things that no longer really give you joy. We're talking about those unused streaming subscriptions, vacations to places you don't even enjoy anymore, or honestly, that $5 fancy latte that just upsets your stomach anyway. When you're getting squeezed between funding a kid's college 529 plan and helping out an aging parent, you absolutely cannot afford to bleed cash on things that don't actually bring you joy.
So how do we navigate this squeeze? Well, the wrong way is putting everyone else first to the point where you actually dip into your own retirement accounts to pay for your kids' tuition or your parents' care. Look, you can borrow money for college, but there is no loan for retirement. The right way is to ruthlessly audit those spending ruts, cut the waste, and aggressively prioritize building a solid 3 to 6 month cash emergency fund. When life throws a curveball, that cash buffer is the shield that prevents the sandwich squeeze from completely crushing your long-term wealth.
Let's move on to mistake number 4, keeping bad debt, entering your peak earning years with high interest anchors. Okay, I want you to burn this number into your brain. 6%. Financial guidelines tell us this is the critical threshold when you're deciding what to do with your money. If you're agonizing over whether to invest extra cash or pay down debt, look at the interest rate. Once you're getting that full employer match on your 401k, any debt you hold that charges more than 6% interest needs to be absolutely crushed, immediately. It's absolutely crucial to understand the difference here. Bad debt is your high-interest credit cards or personal loans, basically anything sitting above that 6% mark. It is prohibitively debilitating. It'll eat your wealth alive. For this, you want to use the Avalanche Method. Pay the minimums on everything else, but throw every single spare dollar at the balance with the highest interest rate. Good debt, on the flip side, is stuff like a reasonable mortgage or student loan. A mortgage builds equity. As long as the interest rate is reasonable, you don't need to panic and aggressively pay it off at the expense of investing for your future.
Moving right along to mistake number 3, lazy asset allocation, using your 20s investment strategy in your 50s.
So one of the most common blunders is keeping the exact same aggressive stock portfolio you had decades ago. But there's a brilliantly simple way to check your strategy, the 100 minus your age rule. It works like this. You just take the number 100, subtract your current age, and boom, that gives you a rough percentage of how much of your portfolio should actually be in stocks. So, if you're 40, 100 minus 40 is 60. Roughly 60% of your portfolio should be in growth stocks, while the other 40% needs to shift into stable assets like bonds and cash. If you're 60, that stock number drops to 40%. It's just a simple sliding scale to help you slowly dial down the risk over time.
The reason this matters so much right now is that your timeline has totally changed. Think about it. In your 20s, a massive stock market crash, it's just a blip. You've got decades to recover. But in your 50s, a 30% drop in the market right before you want to retire could mean you're stuck working an extra 5 or 10 years. And no way, nobody wants to do that. You absolutely must intentionally shift your focus from purely accumulating wealth to actively preserving it against market volatility.
Next up is mistake number 2, ignoring tax perks and catch-ups. You're leaving free money on the table.
During your 40s and 50s, the government literally hands you massive advantages to accelerate your savings, but people just leave this free money sitting there. Let's talk about health savings accounts, or HSAs. The wrong way to use an HSA is treating it like a regular checking account to pay for your current medical bills. The right way? Well, if your cash flow allows for it, pay those medical bills out of pocket and don't touch the HSA. Let it sit. Why? Because an HSA offers a brilliant triple tax advantage. The money goes in pre-tax, it grows tax-free, and it comes out tax-free for medical expenses. It's basically the ultimate financial cheat code. If you invest that money and let it compound, you're building a massive, tax-free war chest for retirement healthcare costs.
And here is another huge perk. Turning 50 legally unlocks what the IRS calls catch-up contributions. The second you hit that milestone birthday, you get legal permission to contribute an extra $7,500 per year to your 401k and an extra $1,000 to your IRA. Remember those intimidating savings targets we talked about earlier? Well, if you're falling behind, these catch-up limits are your golden ticket to hypercharge your retirement accounts and close that gap.
Finally, we arrive at mistake number 1, skipping the estate plan, avoiding the uncomfortable conversations about your legacy.
Look, the absolute biggest, most consequential error people make in midlife is skipping this step completely. We all naturally want to avoid grim conversations about our own mortality. I get it, but ignoring this is a literal recipe for disaster. Listen to this advice from financial counselor Monique White. She says to allow your family and friends the luxury of coping with their loss without the financial stress. When you avoid estate planning, you're basically guaranteeing that your grieving family will be dragged into stressful, expensive, and totally drawn-out legal battles. Doing this isn't a grim chore, it's a final act of love and protection for the people you care about most.
So the crucial point here is taking immediate action. Just 3 essential steps. First, name and update the beneficiaries on every single one of your accounts. 401ks, IRAs, life insurance, the whole shebang. Second, review how your accounts and your home are titled, setting up joint accounts with rights of survivorship just to ensure a smooth transfer. And third, write a will. If you don't legally outline where your assets go, your state's laws are going to do it for you. And trust me, their plan probably doesn't align with yours.
Okay, let's quickly recap so you've got a crystal clear checklist. Number 1, build up that 3 to 6 month cash emergency fund to survive the sandwich squeeze. 2, aggressively crush any debt with an interest rate over 6%. 3, adjust your portfolio risk by applying the 100 minus your age rule. 4, maximize those triple tax HSAs and your age 50 catch-up limits. And 5, get your will and estate plan done today. Your 40s and 50s are this incredible window of opportunity to build lasting wealth, but only if you avoid these traps. So what does this all mean for you? I want to leave you with this question to chew on. Are your peak earning years actively securing your future, or are they just funding your present lifestyle? Take a look at the sources for today's explainer down at the bottom of the screen. Take control of your financial destiny today, and I'll catch you in the next one.